Okay, Penelope, I have been trying to get in contact with you for a little bit now because I need you to take care of something for me. It's the least you can do for your mother-in-law. Well, you know I can't help you with anything right now. You're going on a business trip, so the timing is a bit off, don't you think? What do you mean by you need me to do something? Isn't it possible to just change the timing of things a little bit since you're not going to be around? You're going overseas, and your request has come at a not-so-good time, okay? I get it. It's work. I can't help that. But seriously, I need assistance. I can't just relax and take multiple visits to the hospital like you. I've got to earn money for the treatment. Haven't we gone over this? We've properly discussed the issue when it comes to the treatment costs. Corey and I are paying the bills, and you shouldn't be forcing yourself to work right now. And you saying that is supposed to make you all high and mighty, huh? Really? I'm not kidding around here. I was assigned to go on a business trip overseas. It's important. But I don't understand why you're even working in the first place, okay? Also, who the heck is in charge of your overseas business trip anyway? Why are you even asking me who it is? Oh, if you must know, it's Mr. Davidson. I received an important order from him to go. Would you quit with the interrogation? Huh? What are you even talking about? Are you seriously kidding me right now? What is going on here, Gretchen? I don't think you're giving me the full story here. Look, you wouldn't understand if I talked to you about work that I do, right? So just shut up, would you? You're so infuriating right now. I'm not being anything that you're saying. You are being so rude right now, Gretchen. I'm just asking questions, but I guess I can see that you don't want to talk about it. Anyway, I'm leaving all the things that need to be done up to you. You're in charge, and you better do things properly. I mean it. You better listen and obey me, Penelope. I'll be back in time for Rita's wedding, so I'm requesting that you do what needs to be taken care of until then. I don't ask for much, so just obey me for once. I can't believe the way you're talking to me right now. You could be just a little bit nicer towards me if you want things handled here while you're away, Gretchen. Excuse me? What's with that attitude? You know who you are, Penelope. You are a worthless piece of trash, so just listen to what I've got to say to you, you idiot. I'm a piece of trash and an idiot, huh? Of course I'll listen. I'll continue to accompany my father-in-law even if he doesn't ask me to help him out. But you know, my dear mother-in-law, it really does pain me to say this. My father-in-law does not have a lot of time left. He's not going to be here much longer. I do wonder if he'll even be able to see Rita be a bride at her own wedding. I really don't think Richard is going to hold on for that. He is really ill. And who are you to say something like that for, huh? Since when are you the god of death? Do you determine how long he lives for, Penelope? Huh? What is that supposed to mean? I'm not the god of death or anything like that, okay? I'm just saying that he's very sick. What is your deal, Gretchen? I don't know. To me, it seems like you know a heck of a lot about the human lifespan, so that's why I was asking. It's just weird you saying something like that. Don't start rattling off about things you don't understand, you stupid woman. You don't know anything about my husband and his condition. But I'm just saying that it's important for you to be there for him. If his wife is by his side, I think it would make Richard feel reassured about what's happening to him. Corey and I are paying for the treatment, so I think it's best for you not to work at this time and be there for your husband. Don't you think so? Oh, just shut up, you little cow. You don't know anything, and I've already made my decision about this. I'm going on this overseas trip, and that is final. I've already booked the flight, and I've got my hotel suite reserved as well, so I'm not going back on what I've already got sorted. So just shut your mouth. What? The hotel suite is already reserved. Which is more important right now, Gretchen? Your husband or the flights and hotel you're going to? Again, you keep saying the most absurd things to me, and it's getting very annoying. You throw this god of death crap at me. What's going on here? You are losing it right now, Gretchen. I'm not acting like the god of death or anything of the sort. I'm just telling you that Richard is not in a good place. You know, even though you're just some low-income earner, you act very cocky towards me, and I am sick of it. You're the lowest of the low in this society. I don't know if you're trying to stand out, even though you live such a shadowy and useless life, or what, but could you stop interrupting me all the time? Don't you see how my own children act towards me? They treat me with respect, and they don't say anything like this towards me, do they? Well, both Rita and Corey are pretty disappointed in what you're doing right now. You're practically abandoning your husband. Excuse me, what the heck did you just say to me, you little witch? I'm not doing anything of the sort. My kids both respect me a lot and would never feel like that. As a newcomer to this family, what would you even know about my own children? I raised them and I know them like the back of my hand. Okay, understood, Gretchen. You do know your children very well, but go ahead, do as you like. Go wherever you need to go. Do what you want, since you're not going to listen to me. Of course I'll do whatever I want, so you need to back off and stop hassling me. But generally speaking, you're just talking back to me, so no one knows about the purpose of why you're wanting the inheritance. Excuse me? What on earth are you even talking about, Gretchen? What inheritance? Why are you bringing that up when I've never mentioned it at all? Well, that's why you're desperately wanting to take care of my husband in his hour of need, isn't it? To get closer to him, right? To get the inheritance. You know that it's very obvious to us. You're so stupid in thinking you could hide what you were doing. How are Rita and Corey not turned off by your presence? Excuse me? How dare you try and accuse me of trying to do something like that to this family? It has never been my intention at all to take any inheritance. I think if you care and love the family you're in, I think it's very natural to want to visit them a lot if they're very sick. That's all I've been doing since Richard fell ill. Yeah, you often say that to the family, don't you? Even though we're not related by blood. Oh. Let me tell you right now, no matter how much you take care of him, it'll be no use. You'll never see your name added to his will. You're really not part of this family, and you don't deserve anything. You'll never see any of the money. Okay, so that means you know about his will and what it contains, am I right? He's already told you what he's preparing to do with what he has? Well, of course I know what's in his will, you silly little girl. I'm his wife, after all. I'm a devoted wife who even travels overseas so that I can earn some money for his treatment. You're just an outsider who's a gold-digging, good-for-nothing woman who'll never receive an inheritance no matter how hard you try to get it out of my husband. You know what, Gretchen? It doesn't matter if I can't get it or not, okay? Because I don't think I really want it at all. I'm not here in this family to rip off anyone. I'm here for Corey as support and to love him unconditionally. Well, you really are just an annoying parasite trying to weasel her way in, aren't you? How strong do you think you are? Well, at least just be quiet around me, all right? Oh, mother-in-law, it really is a shame that you think of me like that. You really need to be more careful about the things you say to people, but do what you want, I guess.
Hey, Penelope, you really need to back off a bit, okay? Stop trying to get into a fight with my mom. You really need to leave it alone and stop being an idiot.
But I'm just trying to do what's best for your father, and your mother really needs to be there for him. He's awfully lonely right now. No matter how much of a cow she is, in the end, she wins.
I understand what you're trying to say, Penelope. I really do, but my mother is going abroad, okay? I don't know what kind of business she's doing, but she's obviously not thinking about Dad. It can't be helped that my father married a woman like her. She doesn't show much interest in him and tries to find some kind of excuse to not look after him.
Well, it shouldn't be that way. Your father really needs to see your mother. He wants to see her face. He calls her name every now and then, so I think he wants to say something to her.
Look, my mom is not accepting any contact from him right now, so there's not much that can be done about this. Even my father knows that my mom is trash. It really can't be helped right now, Penelope. There's nothing that we can do about it, dear wife. We just have to let Mom do what she wants, otherwise we get yelled and screamed at.
But things shouldn't be like this, especially since your father is practically dying in this hospital bed and wants to see his wife. She can't do this to him.
Hey, I get it, but that's enough of that, Penelope. Everyone here still has a lot of love for Mom. She herself still thinks that she's a mother that needs to be respected. I understand that my father wants to see her in his final moments of life, but maybe it'll be much better if we didn't let her see him. She really is not a great woman, I can tell you that.
But why are you talking about her in this way when she's being so horrible and just abandoning your father when he needs people around him?
Why? I think you know the reason why, Penelope. I'm surprised that you haven't noticed why she's actually leaving the country for an overseas trip.
But what she's doing is so terrible, and she shouldn't be allowed to do this with your father in the hospital and basically dying. It's not fair on him.
I do get that, okay? If my father's gonna die soon, I'm gonna take responsibility for everything that's happened while she's away, but for now, I just want to focus on my father.
You're right, Corey. I'm really sorry for continuing to bring this up. I'm just so sick of your mother treating everyone so badly. I understand what you're getting at.
No, you're fine. I always know that you're acting out of kindness toward my father and the rest of the family. I'm sorry, too. My head's spinning and I'm confused over so many things.
I guess that a situation like this can't be helped. I just wish that I could do more to help you out. I just want things to be okay for everyone.
I understand what you mean. Me too. I'm trying to predict how Rita's wedding is gonna happen next week, especially with what's going on with my mother and father.
Hey, Penelope, we need to talk right now. Why aren't you replying to me? I'm your mother-in-law, and you need to respond to me quickly. What on earth are you doing right now? Huh? Gretchen, is everything okay? What's going on? What is it that you want? What's the urgency for? Are you going to explain why you're messaging me? Why aren't you there first? Oh, this makes no sense. Since you're my son's wife, you need to come earlier than everyone else and help me prepare. Huh? Aren't you the one that hasn't come over yet? We contacted you over and over again yesterday and the day before yesterday, okay? You never answered us. What on earth are you talking about? I was traveling abroad, so I turned off my phone to save power. That's why I never replied to anyone the past few days. Excuse me? What did you just say? You're traveling abroad right now? I don't understand. What's going on here? You're on vacation? Wait a minute. No, that's a mistake. I'm on an overseas business trip right now. You know that. I was at work, so I didn't have time to answer my phone. Okay, that doesn't really matter right now. Gretchen, please come back here right away. Everyone is already here, and we're getting really confused by the situation. Don't turn things around on me by saying that you don't even understand, Penelope. How can it be that my daughter's wedding was canceled at the last minute? If you don't go and sort this whole mess out right now, I'm going to make you divorce my son. So maybe you should prepare yourself to do that. Gretchen, if anything, you're the one who has no idea what's going on around here since you bailed on us. Your daughter is at the funeral home right now. Excuse me? What funeral home? Why is she there for? What the heck are you talking about, you stupid woman? Oh, spit it out already. I want to know. Hey, stop calling me stupid, and you're the one who's causing trouble around here. I'm talking about your own husband's funeral, for goodness sake. Why do you think we've been trying to contact you for the past 2 days, Gretchen? 2 nights ago, your husband passed away, and you've been ignoring our calls. Oh, Richard's gone? Oh, really? I don't believe it. Is that so? You're seriously telling me through a message that my husband has died? From now, the funeral procession will start. Let me guess, you're at the wedding venue right now, aren't you? Because you didn't answer your phone to us. Why, of course that's where I am. How was I to know until now that the wedding wasn't going to be held? I was waiting for everyone to arrive and no one showed up. If you actually picked up your phone, we would have told you that Rita's gone and canceled the wedding because of Richard dying. You're the only one who hasn't come. Well, I can't help that I'm not there. I wasn't even told that my own husband was dead. Anyway, I'm on my way there right now. Where's the funeral home? Yeah, I don't think I'm going to tell you. I think it's better that you don't come over here. It would save us a lot of trouble, and your children are focusing on this. What on earth did you just say to me, you little cow? What do you mean you're not going to tell me the directions to the funeral home? We were unable to get in touch with you, Gretchen, and you didn't bother picking up. You ignored us. You didn't bother showing up to the funeral home. All of your relatives' anger levels have reached a peak level, Gretchen. You've made everyone feel like crap, and it's best if you stay away. So stop trying to come here. But, oh, how can that be? Why should they be so angry when I had no idea what was going on? I had to work so that I could pay my way. I can't help that. I'm going to be there if it's the last thing I do. It's my husband's funeral, and I am definitely going to attend. You're not going to turn me away from this. I don't get why you're being like this, Gretchen. If you feel that much for Richard, why didn't you ever come and visit him while he was sick in the hospital? Because I was working to try and earn some money for his treatment. Oh, it doesn't just pay for itself, does it? Hospitalization fees, surgery fees, and other stuff costs a lot of money, okay? Yeah, and I don't know how many times we've told you, but Corey and I said that we would cover the payments so that you could just be there for Richard, but you haven't. All you've done recently is gone overseas on some mysterious trip. Why go to all that trouble just so you can leave and not bother looking after your husband? How many times do I have to repeat myself? It's so I can repay you both for what you're paying for. After all, he's my husband, and it's only natural for me to pay you back. Oh, really? You're actually going to pay us back for everything? Are you sure? Well, that's great to hear. Thank you so much for giving us the money. We appreciate it. Excuse me? Oh, what are you even talking about, you stupid little girl? Do you expect me to give you all the money just like that or something? Well, didn't you just say that you were going to compensate us for all the things that Corey and I have paid for? Isn't that what you're going to do? Well, I just wanted to say that we're very grateful to you for doing that. We were also struggling to make ends meet on the payments, and it's been tough for a while. Huh? No, that's not what I meant when I say that I was wanting to repay you both for all the fees that you forked out money for. But I don't understand. That was what you just said, wasn't it? You said that you'll repay us in full and then you won't owe us anything anymore, right? Well, yes, I did say something along the lines of that, but, I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to get you both the money in a hurry. If that's not the reason why you're wanting to earn money, how come you went on a business trip overseas during a time when your husband was really sick? No, yeah, you're right. Oh, that's what I'm doing. This is to compensate you for all the medical expenses that needed to be paid for. Yes, I'm paying you back. That makes me so happy to hear that, actually. I'll send you an estimate of the treatment costs later. Well then, it's better if you don't show your face here, Gretchen. What? Why not? Oh, things can't happen like this. I need to be at my husband's funeral, though. I'm going to be there no matter what. I'm going to show up.
Hey, you old bag, what do you think you're trying to pull here, huh? You need to stop this right now. We're done with you. Let us grieve our father in peace.
Huh? Corey, why on earth are you talking to me in such a harsh tone? What's gotten into you? What do you mean, stop this? I'm not doing anything at all.
I'm literally telling you to not even bother coming to my father's funeral. What the heck are you planning to bring down on us, Mom?
Bring down on you? What the heck is that supposed to mean, huh? I'm not going to cause any trouble at all. What are you talking about, son?
You went abroad without a care in the world and didn't even bother coming to visit Dad in the hospital. You didn't even respond to my calls when I was trying to tell you that he passed away. How do you think people would feel if you showed up to his funeral when you basically abandoned him on his deathbed, huh? It's disgusting behavior from a wife who obviously doesn't care about my father.
Excuse me? What did you just say to me? No matter what you or anyone else says to me, I am Richard's wife and I've got a right to be at my own husband's funeral.
Okay, you old bag. I guess you're not getting the message. Why did you never go to visit Dad, Mom? Why would you even want to come to the funeral if you never visited him?
That's why. Oh, because I wasn't able to visit him. Don't you think it's only natural for me to want to attend his funeral, Corey? I'm his wife, for goodness sake.
If you were any kind of wife to my father, you would have visited him in the hospital and took care of him while he was dying. You didn't really care about his condition, did you? The reason you're acting so anxious right now and needing to show your face here is because you're aiming to grab my father's inheritance, aren't you?
Excuse me? What on earth are you talking about? I loved Richard, and as his wife, I'm supposed to be there, and I am the leader of this family now. Don't you get that?
You're no leader. You're nothing but a selfish cow. My guess is that if you don't come to the funeral, you think you're gonna miss out on the offerings that people want to give, right?
That's not it at all. That isn't important to me. I'm not like that. My interest in the inheritance... Oh, it doesn't matter. You better watch what's happening over there. I bet Penelope wants to get her hands all over that money the people will be offering us. That's the money we need for support. You can't just let her take it.
You obviously don't know my wife very well at all. She was the one who volunteered to pay for Dad's medical and funeral expenses. Even though it is inheritance, she has a right to receive it.
Okay, that's enough nonsense now, Corey, but if that's the case, I guess she has the right to have some of the money in terms of being compensated.
You know, Mom, you've actually got nothing to worry about when it comes to all the money being dished out. Your name wasn't in Dad's last will and testament.
Wait, what did you just say to me? Oh, is this some kind of sick prank you're trying to pull on me since I wasn't around to visit your father? Are you kidding me right now?
Let me be more precise in my wording of this so that you understand, Mom. Your name was erased from his will, and by the looks of it, Dad erased it himself.
Huh? What the heck is going on here? Are you seriously kidding me? He erased my name? But that makes no sense. I'm his wife and have been for years.
Not long before Dad passed away, he told us that he wanted the contents of his will changed before he got into an even worse state of health. Your name was removed from the list of people that he wanted to give something to, and he added Penelope to his will as well.
Excuse me? What? He put that little cow, Penelope, on his stupid little will that he had made up? How could you let that happen when I'm his wife and deserve the inheritance? We all know that vile woman was only looking after your father so that she could get your father's inheritance. She's trying to kick me to the curb, I know it.
No, you're doing that all on your own, you stupid old bag. You were really the one that was looking forward to inheriting everything, weren't you?
What? No, that's not true at all. I've got no idea what you're talking about, son. I'd never do such a thing to your father. I loved him, and I wasn't in the marriage for his money.
Oh, shut up, you cruel and vile woman. Dad noticed everything that you did. He was sick, but he wasn't stupid when it came to you and how you've acted. He knew that it's been a long time since you had love for him, and vice versa. While he was in that hospital bed, he discovered that you were having an affair behind his back.
What? Oh, that's simply not true. I would never do that to your father. I really did love him. He was making all of this up. He was mistaken and in the wrong for accusing me of that.
Don't you dare lie to me now. I can see right through you. Let me tell you now, everyone noticed what you were doing, not just Dad. We're not dumb. You're the one who's the money grabber. The only reason you stayed with my father in the first place was so that you could get his money when he died. Do you really think that my father was going to give you the satisfaction? Who would want to give money to a person like you, Mom?
Now just hold on a minute there, Corey, okay? Wait and let me explain. I'm not having an affair with another man. You're just making things up so that you won't let me into the funeral home.
Oh, shut up. Do you seriously think I'd do something like that? I'm not as evil as you old and miserable hag. We've already got the evidence of the affair in our hands. Anything you say to us now is pointless. Dad really tried to believe your innocence until the end, but he still died knowing that you betrayed him. How could you? He finally acknowledged his own wife's infidelity and figured out how he could make you pay for it. So he rewrote the will so you wouldn't get anything, and then passed away. Do you have any idea how hard that must have been for him to do that? Especially to the wife that he was married to for so many years? All you are is a homewrecker, Gretchen.
But it's not true. Don't you dare call me by my first name. I'm your mother. I've done everything that I could have done for that man. You've got no idea how much I've done. Also, on top of cutting me out of his will, it's so odd that he prioritized Penelope over his own wife. I'm sure she was the one who blackmailed your father into doing this.
She did nothing of the sort. It was Dad's idea to change it, and she had no influence over him at all. She didn't abandon Dad at the end like you did.
Excuse me? Do you think I seriously abandoned your father to go on some trip? Oh, clearly you're quite mistaken, son. I've done a lot for your father over the years.
I don't know how he put up with you for so many years, but he loved you, Mom. He wasn't in love with anyone but you, and he never betrayed you like you did to him. Even while he was in the hospital bed going senile, he was calling out your name in pain, wondering where you went. You left him when he needed you the most. I really never thought that anyone in our family would just leave and forget to visit a sick person in the hospital. It's just cruel and upsetting.
Is what you said about your father saying my name true? Did he actually want me there? He was still in love with me this entire time?
Are you insane? Of course he was. Don't ask me why, though, when you're such a terrible human being. Penelope continued to contact you and persuaded you to come and visit him. While respecting my father's wishes and just wanting to do whatever he said, she also prayed that you'd see what was happening and actually see him in person. Until the end, Penelope continued to be the bridge between you and Dad. If she was aiming to get her hands on my dad's money, she wouldn't have begged you to visit him. It would have been a hindrance to her. We told her that there was no need to do this anymore since you ignored everyone's opinion on this, so I said to leave you alone.
Is that really what you told her? She was trying to help me out then? I had no idea that she was doing anything of the sort. There was no reason for me to be removed from the will at all.
No, I think there was, Mom. While Dad was suffering with his illness in the hospital, you were off gallivanting overseas with someone that you were making out with. There's no way you were inheriting anything. My father was so kind up until things turned for the worst. He was hesitant to do what he did until the end, but he knew deep down he made the right decision.
Okay, well, that's not what I want to focus on anymore. I'm coming to the funeral right now. I've got a right to receive any inheritance money that's given out today.
You need to stop this crap right now. Even if you come here now, nothing is gonna change. You'll get nothing out of anyone here. We don't feel sorry for you at all. The only people here at this funeral are people that loved my father, and now they hate my mother. We don't want anything to do with you anymore.
Oh, shut up, you little jerk. How could you do something like this to me? You can't keep me away. I am your mother and always will be. I'll never forgive you for this. I am getting that inheritance. You really need to calm down, Gretchen. Acting out like this isn't going to do anyone any good at all. People are trying to farewell Richard. You can't go wild at a funeral. It's all your fault because you won't let me in. What is so great about you, huh, Penelope? All you are is a thief. You don't deserve anything from my husband, you money grabber. How dare you? I am no money grabber. You're an adult. You need to act like one because I'm sick and tired of dealing with someone who acts like a child. You have been caught having an affair, and Richard finally did something about it to get back at you. He was able to basically do that from beyond the grave. We don't want you here. Don't come anywhere near the funeral home or we'll call the police and have you arrested. Also, I'll get my compensation for all the treatment fees from you. How dare you attack me like this, you pathetic little girl? You're not going to get away with this. You don't have any rights to anything, and you're ruining everything for me. No, Gretchen, you did all that on your own. Now, if you'll excuse us, we've got a funeral to attend. We want to grieve in peace, so let us do that. Please, just pay me back my money, too, so we can end this mess. In the end, Gretchen did have an affair and was made to pay alimony to the living relatives of her husband's family. She was ordered to pay for the damages, but sure enough, she ran away from making the payments. Penelope, Corey, and Rita decided to not abandon the situation, but to face it. They managed to convince Gretchen to pay them the money they deserved. Perhaps she was moved by the fact that they didn't try to abandon her. Gradually, Gretchen showed signs of remorse and took on the debt and made the payments. They hoped to play a role in her rehabilitation. Even though it was initially canceled, her daughter Rita had her wedding after the funeral. Gretchen declined her invitation, but other relatives came to celebrate the day. It was a great day, and they hoped to all move on well as a family.